But yeah, my question today was, Dan, you said one of the things that you were finding a bit from your trail camera study is that your first sits didn't do as much damage as that you initially thought. I think you said that on one podcast,
Mhm.
and that you were finding new buck groups phasing into those bedding areas and some repeats,
Mm.
even though you had been in there.
Yep.
How does that kind of like change your approach to repeat sits? Because sometimes I'll have 3 days in a row, an area will be real hot and it'll be, like 3 or 4 different bucks coming through in that period of time. And so it'd be like the first time they have an opportunity to cross my scent trail if I get in there like really clean.
Mhm.
So how would you approach that? Would you just kind of
Well,
hunt that until
if
that?
I'm seeing deer, I ain't backing down on a spot till I'm not seeing deer. So I
Yeah.
might hunt it 2 or 3 days in a row. As a matter of fact, I mean, just in the last couple of days, and whole new deer I've never seen before popped into Dave's farm. A real big 10-pointer.
Yeah.
And I showed up on all the cameras, right? So I went in there and hunted him, and I got an evening, a morning, and an evening hunt on him, and had an interaction with them all three in the
Wow.
same spot. So
That's-
um, that burnt it out, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that much, but
Hmm.
if he's not caught on, you just keep hunting, right? And I still
Hmm.
don't think he's on to me. The doe he was
Right.
with is on to me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And that'll pull them away.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Josh?
Um, I, yeah, I mean, I'm sure the problem with Dan's trail camera study is there's not a hunter in there.
Hmm.
It, I don't know.
Right. What
You
he's
know,
saying though is what my statement was, that I had hunted a spot, and then 2 days later a buck shows up there.
yeah, but what if he have?
Next day he
How
shows
do
up.
you how do you know he wasn't circling your stand or something before he came
Yeah,
in there or
true.
something?
That's true.
I mean,
Hmm.
And I can say though that in spots that I've overhunted, and I've hunted them like 4 or 5 times, or somebody else got in there and hunted, I've watched those
yeah,
stands burn out and become
Hmm.
ungood for years, until the
yeah,
guy quits hunting it and doesn't hunt it for a couple of years, and then the deer come back. So um, human interaction definitely has a negative impact on your
Oh
hunting
yeah.
spots. But when you're after a specific animal, you can't not hunt where he's at.
yeah,
Hmm.
So if you understand that.
yeah,
So I'm
Yeah.
trying to mix it up by moving around and not overhunt a spot and ruin it for next year,
Hmm.
or later this year or whatever. But in the same light, I'm trying to kill a certain
yeah.
deer.
Yeah.
I guess my opinion is this is like I think it's always worth a second hunt, and then after that I'm like, okay, I'm done
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I.
Well, this spot. Now I went in there 2 nights ago, right? And when I walked in the evening, I think the buck was already on his feet. He crashed off um, through the swamp. I got in there, I
Mhm.
got set up, and later I heard him. I think it was him grunting in the bedding area, and there was a doe in there, and I seen the doe, but I didn't see him. And then I heard his antlers on the brush rubbing a tree, and there's multiple other bucks flying out of there, and a
Mhm.
couple of bucks in about the 100-inch range trying to get in there and come flying
Mhm.
out with their tails tucked, looking back. But I never seen them. But I seen,
Mhm.
um, I think 17 deer on the first hunt in the evening.
Wow.
The next morning, I seen about 6,
Wow.
and then that evening, I saw 3.
Yeah.
They got a lot smaller, a lot quick.
Yeah.
So you
I.
see, even though I was still onto that buck a little bit, you
Mhm.
see how my presence really
Mhm.
impacted that spot, right? And
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
repeatedly, even on a rut funnel, guys say you can hunt a rut funnel all you want. Your first sit there, you'll see 7, 8 deer, and then the next one maybe you see 4, and then the next one you see
Mhm.
2, and then maybe you see
Mhm.
1 here. But it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse the more you sit it.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I was asking you guys those questions maybe a week or so ago about how you approach these challenges where you scout in and you're talking about like you need to find more out about an area, but you don't need to go too far in and all that, playing that game of too far but versus what I don't know. And I started taking the approach of the sections I wanted to hunt of this really large property as if I was doing like a mini public land challenge on each of them, where I would find something that qualified it as a good place to hunt. I'd dedicate my time scouting it, and then I would take a date to hunt it, see what's up. I would usually have to move in further and break it down. It was usually by either the second hunt I realized that it wasn't what I thought it was, or I needed to go further. And on some of my most recent hunts, it was like one day I had to make an adjustment, saw less deer the second day, but I was closer to the right deer. And then the third day, something cool happened. And then it was just like you had to learn more about your setup and why things are going on. But like you said, Josh, too, with a trail camera, like your perspective is so narrow. Like the day I first sat there, I had a cell cam in the area and I saw probably 8 to 10 deer, and not a single one was on my cell camera. And like that area was hot, it was blowing up, and the cell camera didn't tell me anything about it. So, so yeah, but thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
guys.
man. Cool. We will talk soon, Jacob.
Thanks.
Sounds good,
See you, man.
Hey everybody, if you like the channel, make sure you subscribe right here. And if you like the clips, I got 2 more options for you. 2 options right here. Subscribe right here. See you guys.